Hello everybody, JVC1103 here, and well, welcome to another new game. Basically, Valentino Rossi the game, aka MotoGP 16. Yeah, this game was made during the anniversary year of Valentino Rossi, so they renamed MotoGP 16 to that. So you wonder why this in the challenge and extras? Yeah, I'm going to be doing all the most of the Valentino Rossi stuff in the extras and challenge little section of the channel. And today we're going to be doing the Yamaha R1m race. And well, you can see it on screen. Doing a little 50% race. It's basically a spec street race bike in the Valentino Rossi Academy. I am utter trash at the rally part of this game. Saying utter trash is an understatement. It is just diabolically bad. And the rudder's gonna be at least dry in this one. You're gonna see the age in this game. This is basically, I think this is Milestone's last racing RPG. Yeah, those days of the PS2 when they had some of their racing games as RPGs as well, with that function, which really is good. We've seen it come back over the years with the stats of the playable character. It's just not, you know, the in-depth as you're gonna see in this one, with less of the features that you see in today's MotoGP games. Not that much as an opening in this game. The openings return in the next game, MotoGP 17. So that being said, and it's also being kind of a Valentino Rossi series, there's no like big opening. So let's get to our race. You can only basically run this bike on this, on this track, and also I'm a custom rider. So if you've never seen this game, it's basically how it looks like. So you notice on the bottom of the screen underneath the bike a white little meter. That is basically your endurance meter. So since I'm playing this on 50%, it's going to continue to deplete a little bit slower than it does on a 3%, 25 and 35% race. So basically, like I said, there's multiple disciplines, because this is based off mostly the Valentino Rossi Academy and adds in the MotoGP as well. So that's pretty much your life meter, essentially. When you start this game, that's going to drain very quickly. So doing long races at the start kinda isn't the best thing to do for it, with your endurance being so low. Basically, doing the MotoGP events, career or single player or online, you can improve your stats. I'll show them at the end. I played this game so much, I basically have everything 100%. I think this game does have an offline one as well, but I never played it online for this game. I don't even think the servers are still up for this game. And as you saw earlier on the first lap, the AI do, essentially they will go off and make mistakes as well. I did turn off the penalties. They kind of get annoying at times. I'm not really trying to push the issue. I'm trying to conserve myself. This game does have tire wear, and my damage is on low. You can damage your bike severely enough. It's mainly cosmetic look, but definitely you can damage the bike severely. And yes, the game is also on hard. Over time, the AI riders as well, their endurance will start to go down as well. But since they're real life riders, for the most part, they're gonna have a little bit lower endurance. So we can take advantage of that a little bit. And for the early milestone racing games that have weather, as you saw in Gravel and Monster Jam Showdown, that are the kind of the newer ones, it's amazing. Not as detailed, those games. Just trying to keep myself on me. I do have MotoGP 14 and 15, but yeah, there's some rough games. This is when, for me, the milestone MotoGP games were really at the start of the peak. A one-off that started off, and then MotoGP 17. Gotta do some gameplay of that one down the line as well. If this was 6 laps, I'll be a little bit on them a little bit quicker. I mostly would do a 25%, but I thought for this occasion to see if I can still do 50%. Just looking to get on the podium. The AI being a little bit good or not literally crashing out. So that's good. It's just going off track like me. Just because this is the academy. In the MotoGP classes, they still do the same. Unlike MotoGP 15, it's not all it's just MotoGP 15 riders. That would be the added series. Still with the Moto 2 and Moto 3, but because this is basically a anniversary of Valentino Rossi game, you pretty much got a historic classes essentially based around when Valentino Rossi was racing. So you got all his iconic liveries from the teams that he driven for up to his rise to MotoGP and his championships. And with this just being one of the side modes, the other ones is drift racing, rally, both the Monza special rally event, then you have flat track racing. If you haven't seen European flat track racing, it's kind of like that. Well, also American flat track racing. Hopefully I can do a video on those a little bit in the future with the flat track endurance. That's going to be a very interesting and wild event. Then you got the drift car, and then the MotoGP based off the 2016 with Moto 3, Moto 2, and MotoGP, and then you have the 2015 season of MotoGP as an added series with the historic classes. but it's more in this game centered around, like I said, Valentino Rossi's career. There's also a little challenges for this game based as well on the season, and extra challenges for Valentino Rossi. I don't think that was Rossi. Nope, that wasn't Rossi. Rossi's in this event, as you saw at the start, with his iconic 46 in its Yamaha version. The challenges are really hard and entertaining in this game. And then there's the career. Oh boy. Saying this is one of my favorite motorcycle games is an understatement. I really do enjoy this game. Not just because I can actually properly, you know, control. A little too like this. It's just something about old school games. When it clicks, these are the best. And this is just the second highest difficulty. The next difficulty after hard here is simulation. Game starts cranking it out, especially with some of the more assists turned off. If you've noticed on the bike meter, excuse me, allergies acting up again. I apologize for that, but my tires haven't, you know, started disappearing from the bike. I have the tire wear off. It's just on or off. And I've already said it earlier about time penalty. I've turned that off. A lot of AI just completely going off in this event. Coming off to the first half of the race finished here. Mid-pack. Well, technically in the back. I can get to the podium. Just trying to keep the bike under me for a while. Almost lost it there. Not gonna lie, but at this point I would already bailed it. At least once. Ooh. You can definitely tell. This is not rubber banding mostly. This is literally the endurance for them is starting to show. But like I said, they're real life riders. You do got some other riders from other series like Chad Reed and some flat track riders that are friends of Valentino Rossi at the time. So you'll see them in other modes. But the real meat and potatoes is the Valentino Rossi career, with everything's in it. And then at the end of the year, it's the big Monza special rally. Really want to get myself out of this 9th place here. I'm getting sector 3 here of the 4 sectors. So I gotta really start trying to pick it up the pace a little bit. Oh. Do a little hip check there. Not advised in a motorcycle of any kind. Okay, now I'm taking it really too much there. I wish I would have told you how much their little endurance was. Kind of like how I know a lot of people take really big jabs on Evolution GT and the Alpha of Romeo game back in the PS2, where there's essentially racing RPGs stimulated from Milestone, which was at the time revolutionary. Also the rewind function that the game had as well. This game also has it, but I've turned it off. And then also this game has the, you know, the credit increaser. But this game's version of it, since it was the first game for it, was just absolutely insane and broken. Making the game almost absolutely, depending on how long and how much you play the game, you essentially can make a lot of money because of the bonus. It's insane how nerfed they have done the point bonus since then because of this game. You see the multiplier at the end of this race. But we're essentially after this end of this lap, we're going to be 3/3 done this race, and essentially we haven't even reached halfway on our endurance meter yet, so we got good health. Crashing does weakening as well. There's Rossi on the podium. Got 3 laps coming and hit the line. Let's see if we can just get to the podium here. Still on defense when I do the MotoGP part, not just this game but also MotoGP 17, should I do 25% races, which would be about 15 minutes, or should I do it in this one for 50% and it'd be about 20 to 30 minutes. And there goes my internet. I am playing this, and well, essentially my internet likes to reset itself around about 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. So it should come back. I've noticed that. And if it resets and fixes itself at that time, I don't really mind. We went too deep there. That's why I'm kind of glad I turned off penalty times. But the AI's doing it. You know how they love to give AI some very good advantages than the player. So why not just balance it out and make it fair for everyone? I would, like I said earlier, mainly play this game between medium and hard, like you're seeing right here. If I was playing this on medium, it'll be a little bit up the road by now. Alright, 2 to go. The endurance is a little bit shot here, so race a little bit too much. Doing a full race MotoGP or this, you can get down to the wire. It's a four-way battle for the lead. Gotta stop doing the wheel spin there. At least it ain't too much. Oh, that may have been... No, that was close. Didn't want to touch him there. Don't go down there. If I go down now, it's over. One of my rare races where I don't crash. Last lap. If I turned on qualifying, I think we would have a little bit more shot. Oh, moving on. I think you don't see that much in modern racing games. Just something about these late PlayStation 3 to early PlayStation 4 games that was the end. Oh, Rossi went up again. That cost me third. Looks like we're going to race for the podium here. Like I said, it was a four-man race, but everyone's close. If I had this on 25%, they would have lost a lot more health. Sporadic as usual. If this was 25%, I think I would have had just enough. A little more on them. But I'll make it to the podium. I'll take it. And we had the fastest lap. Ah, yeah. That's kind of hard. Would take like 25% would have been about 10 to 12 minutes. 50% here was about 20 minutes. MotoGP would take about that much as well, maybe about an extra 3 minutes. So 50% would be very doable. It would be doing a 100%. There's no like 75%. But 13th to 3rd, nice. Would have got a little bit more if I would have won, but you could see with the multiplier for the Valentino Rossi points times 5. That's a DLC. So the unlockables all pretty pricey to get the Valentino Rossi liveries, but yeah, they are not that pricey. You could still get it. It'd take about half to third of the game with the multiplier. It's about maybe everything in about a fifth of the game. Maybe about 1/3 if you're not good enough. Speaking of which, as you can see, everything is 100, including rain. Oh, those rain races. Especially early on. If you played any game that had the, abilities like Monster Energy, the MXGP when they was doing this, and I say earlier with Evolution GT and, the Alpha Atari games that were made also by Milestone. Yeah. These stats, yeah, they can really go and make the difference. And it's essentially needed. Some rally is cornering, just like MotoGP does everything. Drifting is called whole bike control with the physics. Well, the conditioning and positioning of the car and bike. Body position, same thing. Basically, if you want the most, play with the bikes, and then the drift car and the rally all have different, physics, but also when it comes to the overall rider, it pretty much dictates certain stats more than others. And like I said with rain is self-explanatory. You're gonna have to improve that in the rain. Oh boy. But that's gonna do it for this video, everybody. I'm JVC1103. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I post video game content here on the channel between Mondays through Saturdays, and I hope to see you all soon for more gameplay content. Until next time, enjoy your free time, be safe, and later!